I'm going to kick us off at the money position. I've got Justin Herbert. I don't think I'm trying not to be too hyperbolic. I don't think any player this offseason suffered worse than Justin Herbert. Outside of guys who were just like cut and aren't going to be back. Like the gap between where he was and where I expect him to be through the duration, at least, of this season is fucking massive. And it all stems from what they did with their coaching staff. So you bring in Jim Harbaugh, and of course, we've talked a lot about what his philosophy is, which is run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. And I think a lot of people from the outside looking in are just going like, oh, he gets a better coach. Like, that'll be great for Herbert. But the philosophy of Harbaugh and Greg Roman really does seem like it's going to be like 1920s football, like leather helmets, like just run that shit up the middle, because they already got rid of every valid pass catcher that they had at this point. So Keenan Allen, we already talked about it, traded to the Bears. Mike Williams cut, which I get it. Dude's just injured all the time. Gerald Everett is out. Austin Eckler, which by itself, fine. But then he's replaced by just a power back of Gus Edwards. Everything is lining up for them to just take a massive downgrade. And I don't know if everybody understands. The Chargers have ranked top 5 at worst in pass attempts every single year of Justin Herbert's career. He's had the ideal situation, like offensively, what they want to do with the philosophy. It's been the best for him. There's no way. I don't even think they cracked the top half under Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman. I'd be shocked if they crack the top 2/3, frankly, in like pass attempts, unless they just fall behind a lot, which could still happen, certainly. But it's just bad. And I know the draft is still here. They could add receivers. Yeah.
But then you're counting on, Quentin Johnston, rookie receiver last year that didn't do anything. And then another rookie coming in this year, whether they have first round, drafted in the first round or not. I mean, you're looking at a very young receiving room there to try to replace all that fantasy production that was there last year.
Yeah.
So my question for you, Jake, then is Herbert outside the top 12 for you?
Top 10 is for sure. Top 12 is kind of the line that I'm struggling with right now. We'll see what the rookie landing spots are for the upcoming quarterbacks.
Of course.
Here. It's gonna there. I've gone through it in my head. There's no way I can get him into my top 10. He's on the fringes.
Yeah.
Maybe, but probably not.
So that being said, is he someone you're interested in going after to try to get a discount on, or are you just like persona non grata, like just off your board right now?
I don't think a lot of people are discounting him the way that I'm discounting him. So I don't think I can get him for where I would want to. Maybe as we go into the season, he's a guy to put a pin in and say, as we progress, and if it shakes out to be as bad as I expect, you have to read the tea leaves and see if Jim Harbaugh is the long-term solution there. And he's probably going to last at least a couple of years. So, yeah, I'm just not trading for him.
Okay. I was going to ask one more question, but I can't remember. So I guess that's it. We'll move on. But I'll just say I tend to agree with you. I think we're very much on the same page here. I'm a little scared. I'm glad a couple trades I tried to make last year for him didn't pan out at this point. Just because, it's going to be rough sledding for Herbert to really give us consistent fantasy production.
Absolutely agreed with you. Are you moving on?
Now, I just want to say, for real football, I could see Herbert becoming like super efficient, where he's like dumping it off and they, run the ball a ton like we're expecting. I could see from a real football standpoint, like him still being a very good quarterback, obviously, and being pretty efficient. But for fantasy, I'm out. At least for now.
Yeah. And remember, folks, the best quarterbacks in the league are always not necessarily the best fantasy quarterbacks. Sometimes the very worst quarterbacks on the worst teams, in fact, end up being the best for fantasy because of how often they throw it. So I'm glad you made that distinction.